Next question. An investor has made following investments: A, B, C. There are three securities in which investment is made. This time the amount of the investment is provided to us and the respective beta is given to us. You are required to answer following simple questions. The first question is, what is the current beta of the portfolio? And so on further questions are provided to us. I want you to write answer of the first question in the chat box. So let us answer the question. Calculation of beta of portfolio. We understand that so the investment is made in three securities: security A, security B, and security C. Amount of the investment is given to us as 50,000, 30,000, and 20,000. So the total amount of the investment which is made is 1 lakh. The weight or the proportion in which the investment is made is 0.50, 0.30, 0.20, and the total is of course 1. So as far as the security A is concerned, it is 50,000 divided by 1 lakh. That is 0.50. 30,000 divided by once again 1 lakh. That is 0.30. And this time balancing figure, or otherwise you can also calculate, there is no moderation. 20,000 divided by 1 lakh, that comes to 0.20. Make sure that the total has to be 1, because there may be some decimals that you may have in the earlier securities. Multiplying with the respective beta, that is provided to us as 1.20, 1.50, and 2. So over here, so the beta is multiplied with the proportion in which the investment is made. So what will happen? It is weight into beta. So 0.50 into 1.2, that comes to 0.6. 0.30 into 1.5, that comes to 0.45. Then 0.2 into 2, that comes to 0.4. So beta of the portfolio is 0.6 plus 0.45 plus 0.4, that comes to 1.45. This is the way beta of the portfolio can be calculated. So first part of the question in which beta of the portfolio is found, it is 1.45. Second part of the question says that, say, what amount of the funds to be transferred to risk-free security from existing portfolio so as to reduce beta of the portfolio to 1.015. So second part of the question says that, say, what is the amount of the funds that should be transferred to risk-free security so that the beta would be 1.015. I request you to give answer for the second part of the question in the chat box. So answer for the second part of the question, in that amount of the funds to be transferred to risk-free security so that beta of the portfolio is 1.015. That is what we understand. So investment in existing portfolio and say investment in risk-free security. weight or proportion. Let us assume that the weight of existing portfolio is Wx. The total of the weight is of course 1. So 1 minus Wx is the weight of risk-free security. Now what will happen? Beta. As far as the existing portfolio is concerned, its beta is 1.45, and for risk-free security it will be 0. So what will happen? Weight into beta. So it is 1.45 into weight of x. And 1 minus Wx into 0, that is of course 0. Beta of the portfolio will be 1.015. That is the way we are required to make the computation of the weight of x as balancing figure. So we understand that it is 1.45, weight of x is equal to 1.015. So weight of x is equal to 1.015 divided by 1.45. So 1.015 divided by 1.45. So it is 0.70. Yes. What does it mean? It means that say you have to retain 70% of the funds in the existing portfolio and you have to transfer 30% in risk-free security. So final answer will be like this. Amount to be transferred to risk-free security. It will be calculated like this. It is 1 lakh into 1 minus 0.7. So it is 1 lakh into 0.3. That comes to an amount of rupees 30,000. So 30,000 is supposed to be transferred to risk-free security so that the beta of the portfolio will reduce to 1.015. Dear students, I need not to mention, but still for understanding purpose, I would like to explain you that 30% of the funds is required to be gathered by selling 30% of the security A, 30% of the security B, and 30% of the security C. That is the way you are supposed to sell the investment. So basically, only for understanding purpose, I am writing over here A, B, C, and risk-free portfolio. So it is 50,000 minus 30%. So that comes to 35,000. 30,000 minus 30%. That comes to 21,000. Then 20,000 minus 30%. That comes to 14,000. And this is of course 30,000. Dear students, the total will be again 1 lakh rupee. You can check 35 plus 21 plus 14 plus 30. So what is the proportion? The proportion is 0.35, proportion is 0.21, proportion is 0.14, proportion is 0.30, and the total is 1. Multiply with the respective beta. What is beta? 1.20, 1.50, it is 2, and it is 0. So you can see that it is 0.35 into 1.2. That comes to 0.42. 0.21 into 1.5. That is 0.315. 0.14 into 2. That is 0.28. And this is of course 0. So the total of all of them will be 1.015. That is the way beta of the portfolio, so that can be cross verified. It will be exactly what you desire. Next question. What amount of the additional investment to be made in a risk-free security so that the beta of the portfolio reduces to 1.015? Again, try to calculate answer of this question on your own. That what is the additional investment to be made so that the beta of the portfolio reduces from 1.45 to 1.015. Please write your answer in the chat box. So the written answer, amount of additional investment to be made in RF so that beta of the portfolio is 1.015. So we understand, let's say, investment in existing portfolio and risk-free security. So what is the weight? Dear students, what will happen as far as the existing portfolio is concerned? In that, say you already have made investment of 1 lakh rupee. You will make additional investment of the funds in security, that is in risk-free security. So what will happen? The weight of the existing portfolio will be 1 lakh plus X. Next is the risk-free security. So in that case, what will happen? It is X divided by, again, 1 lakh plus X. Okay. This is the way we can compute the total. And the total is of course 1. So the weight is calculated as over here 1 lakh upon 1 lakh upon X. That is for the existing portfolio. And this is the weight of the risk-free security. Multiplied with the respective beta. This is 1.45 and this is 0. Okay. So what will happen? It is weight into beta. 1.45 into 1 lakh is 1,45,000 divided by 1 lakh plus X. What is the value of X? We do not know this at this point of time. And anything into 0 will become 0 only. And what is the beta of the portfolio? As far as the beta of the portfolio should be 1.015. This is the way we can make the computation of the X as balancing figure. That is the additional amount of the investment that we should make in the risk-free security so that the overall risk of the portfolio will reduce. So it will be, dear students, 1,45,000 divided by 1 lakh plus X plus 0 is equal to 1.015. So now it is 1,45,000 is equal to 1.015 into 1 lakh plus X. So 1,45,000 is equal to 101,500 plus 1.015x. 1.015x is equal to 1,45,000 minus 1,01,500. So x is equal to 145 minus 101,500, that comes to 43,500 divided by 1.015, that comes to 42,857. So this is the way the amount of the additional investment to be made, say in a risk-free security, so that the beta of the portfolio will reduce to 1.015. That is what we understand. Again friends, over here you can logically understand like this. It is A, B, C and RF. The existing investment this time does not change. It is going to be 50,000. It is going to be 30,000. It is going to be 20,000. Then 42857. So the total is 142,857. So use a calculator. 50,000 divided by total investment, that comes to 0.35. 30,000 divided by 142,857, 0.21. 20,000 divided by total, that comes to 0.14. 42,857 divided by total, that comes to 0.30. So the total will be of course 1. Okay. 35 plus 21 plus 14 plus 0.3. Now multiplying with the respective beta. What is the beta? It is 1.20. It is 1.50. It is 2 and it is 0. So what will happen? It is 0.35 into 1.2 is 0.42. 0.21 into 1.5 is 0.315. This is of course 0.28 and this is 0. So 0.42 plus 0.315 plus 0.28. It is exactly 1.015 as we desire. This is the way we can have the cross verification, but that is of course not required in examination. Our answer comes to an end at this point of time. This is the way we can have the computation of the additional investment to be made. Students might have completed a chapter called derivative. In the derivative chapter, you may recall when we had the question about the stock index futures, then in that case there were two types of question. One was this kind of question, that what amount should be transferred to the risk-free security so that the beta reduces, and another was so the short index futures, so that say you will be able to reduce the risk because you have the long position in the cash market. So with the short position in the futures market, you will be able to reduce the risk. So this was something that say we have discussed over there. However, if at all that chapter is completed, at that point of time you may not be able to understand it very clearly, but now of course when you will understand all these things together, you will be able to understand it. Fourth question: what investor can do for increasing beta of the portfolio to 2.61? So the question says that say your existing risk is 1.45 and say this risk of 1.45 you want to increase to 2.61. How you can increase it? So let us have understanding of the fourth part of the question. In that we understand like this: increasing risk of portfolio to 2.61. So let us see that how you can increase it. There are two methods. Method number one. Friends, in first method what you can do, you can borrow and invest in existing portfolio, comma, so that beta of portfolio increase to 2.61. What you can do, friends, you can make the investment in the existing portfolio by borrowing of the funds. We will make the calculation that say what is the amount of the funds to be borrowed and to invest in the existing portfolio so that the beta increases. Of course, friends, whenever you borrow, then in that case the rate of interest at which you have to pay interest is fixed. So it does not have any fluctuation. So the beta for the borrowing of the funds will always be 0. Why? Because it does not have any fluctuation. So write down a note for this. In respect of borrowing, comma, we can say that the rate at which financial charges is to be paid is fixed. Full stop. So there is no risk, comma, no beta for borrowing. It means that the rate at which you are going to pay the financial charges is same, so it does not have any beta. So the beta for the borrowing will be taken as a 0. I want you to tell me answer in the chat box that what is the amount of the funds to be borrowed and we should invest in the existing portfolio so that the beta of the portfolio increases to 2.61. So let us see how to make the calculation. Investment in existing portfolio, and we understand that say you will be having the borrowing at a risk-free rate of return. Let us assume that say we have borrowed an amount equal to X and we have made investment in the existing portfolio. So what will happen as far as the weight is concerned? Weight is 1 lakh plus X divided by 1 lakh. That is amount of investment divided by amount held. Okay. I hope that you recall the formula that we had understood. Weight is calculated as amount of investment divided by amount held. That is what the kind of equation that we have. As far as the weight of RF is concerned, it is borrowing divided by amount held. So what will happen over here? So it will be negative X divided by 1 lakh. This is the way we will have the weight. Multiplying with the respective beta. So the total is, 1.45 and 0. And of course, friends, over here the weight total would be 1. Again, weight into beta. What will happen? It is 1,45,000 plus 1.45x divided by 1 lakh. This is 0. Beta of the portfolio is simple weighted average. What is the beta of the portfolio? Beta of the portfolio should be 2.61. And now we will make the computation of the excess balancing figure. So here it is 1,45,000 plus 1.45x divided by 1 lakh is equal to 2.61. So 1,45,000 plus 1.45x is equal to 2.61 into 1 lakh. Okay, so 1.45x is equal to 2,61,000 minus 1,45,000. So x is equal to 261 minus 145. That comes to 1,16,000. So it is 1,16,000 divided by 1.45. So the answer comes to 80,000. So friends, what will happen? You are supposed to borrow an amount of 80,000 and you will make investment in the existing portfolio, of course in the existing proportion, so that the beta would be exactly 2.61. Again, only for understanding purpose, so I am giving you cross verification. It is A, it is B, it is C, and it is RF. What is the amount that you borrow? It is 80,000. Investment in A is equal to, listen carefully, it is 80,000 into zero point 0.5. 40, 40 plus 50 is 90. Then again it is 80,000 into 0 0.3, 24, 24 plus 30, that comes to 54. Next is again 80,000 into 0.2, that comes to 16,000 plus 20, that comes to 36,000. And this would be definitely 1 lakh because the amount held by you was 1 lakh only. 90 plus 54 plus 36 minus 80,000, that is of course 1 lakh. So what would be the weight, dear students? 0.9, 0.54, 0.36, negative 0.8, and the total is 1. Multiply with the beta, 1.20, 1.50, it is 2, then it is 0. So what will happen? It is 0.9 into 1.2, that comes to 1.08. 0.54 into 1.5, that is 0.81. Then it is 0.72. Then it is 0. So what will happen? 1.08 plus 0.81 plus 0.72, that comes to 2.61. This is a way you can cross verify the answer that the beta of the portfolio will be 2.61. We had seen this formula of the weight of X and weight of RF as amount of investment divided by amount held, and for the borrowing it is the amount borrowed divided by amount held, and it will have the negative weight. This is what, say, we had done it, say, in earlier question when we were doing, say, the Markowitz model questions with risk-free security. So here is the reference that, say, we can understand.